Magandang bispiras ng Miyerkules sa inyong lahat. 73 days na lang Pasko na. Welcome sa October 13, 2020 edition ng The Stock Market Today. Ako po si Benji Chadoro, nag-aanyaya na samahan ninyo ako at sabay nating tignan ang pinaka-latest na balita tungkol sa San Miguel, BPI at Security Bank, ang resulta ng trading sa PSE. Congratulations nga pala sa Los Angeles Lakers sa pagkapanalo sa NBA Finals. Lahat ng yan dito lamang sa October 13 edition ng The Stock Market Today. Bago pong lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating mga reminders. At habang binabasa po natin ito, kung first time niyo po dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start po akong magbigay ng daily stock market reports noong August. Inaanyayahan ko po kayong mag-subscribe sa aking channel para palagi po tayong updated sa mga balita at impormasyon tungkol sa stock market at ang mga active na stocks sa merkado. Ako po ay isang retired employee ng isa sa pinakamalaking bangko sa Pilipinas. Naging OFW din po ako nung ma-assign po akong maging head ng compliance sa aming branch sa Hong Kong. Mga 8 months din po akong namalagi sa ibang bansa. At pagkatapos noon ay na-assign po ako sa biyaya ng Diyos na maging Chief Compliance Officer ng isang subsidiary ng bangko. And since early 2000 ay nag-start po akong mag-invest regularly sa UITFs at pagkatapos noon ay sa stocks. Salamat po at tignan po muna natin ang ating mga balita. Ang una nating balita ay mula sa Philippine Star. Ito po ay report ng S&P Global Ratings at Fitch Ratings. Ang sabi niya dito, large banks under negative watch on pandemic financial strain. A deteriorating economy is posing greater than expected risks on Philippine lenders. 3 of the biggest had been placed under negative watch by debt watchers as a sign of bleaker things to come for the local banking sectors. S&P Global Ratings announced early Tuesday morning, placing into negative the outlook for credit ratings for Bank of the Philippine Islands, the Security Bank Corp, hours after Fitch Ratings did the same for China Banking Corp. So they had a negative outlook probably because of the increasing risk of default on the loans. So S&P said that economic risk for banks operating in the Philippines had turned negative. In our view, we believe the risk of credit losses soaring for the Philippine banks is higher than expected given challenging economic conditions. In addition, the article said that the impact across individual banks differ in scale considering their size and stability. Fitch sees larger banks like BDO Unibank, BPI, Metro Bank as well as the PNB more stable than smaller ones like China Bank. Our second news would be on San Miguel. San Miguel gets Senate OK on airport franchise. The measure granting a 50-year franchise for San Miguel AeroCity to construct and operate the Bulacan Airport and Airport City has been approved on third and final reading. This is the proposed 1.5 trillion Bulacan Airport and Airport City, expected to accommodate 100 million passengers annually. San Miguel AeroCity will also build an expressway that will link it to the North Expressway and a rail link through the Metro Rail Transit 7. The franchise exempt the grantee from direct and indirect taxes during the 10-year construction period, after which an income tax and real estate tax exemption will be granted. Once the franchise expires, the grantee is mandated to turn over the ownership of the airport to the Department of Transportation. So para mangyari ito, build, operate, and transfer. Similar to that, only that there is a franchise here to operate. Okay, so let's now take a look at what happened to the PSE index and the PSE. The PSE ended at 5923.23, 13.82 points lower than the previous close. That's 0.23%. That's a 0.23% decline. Net foreign selling was 702 million. As for the sectoral indices, the financials, the holding companies, and the mining declined, while the properties and services registered an increase in the index. The industrial remained flat at 0.18% or 0.18. The all-share index, on the other hand, registered a 2.68 decline or 0.08%. There was net foreign buying on the financials and the mining sector. So we will be reviewing the following stocks. The most active is Mart Dito, MPI, CHP, SM, GTCAP, BCOR, ABS, Now, PX, and SECB. So let's take a look at Mart. Mart registered a 0.10 increase or 3.33%, but it continued to move sideways. So I drew a box here, and which represents the support, which is the upper line, and the resistance. The support, which is the lower line of 2.79, and the resistance at 324. So I expect the stock to move within this range within the next few days, although there is volume here. There was net foreign buying of 14.61 million. Now, if you'll notice, there was volume in the trading today. And if there is volume in the following day, then I expect the stock to move higher. Kasi nag-reach siya ng high ng 330. So it opened at 3, set a high at 330, and then opened or closed at 310. So napakahaba yung wick niya. So na-reach niya yan dito. Tapos, sellers somehow pushed the prices down to 310. Let's take a look at dito. Okay, dito has a doji. Meron siyang doji today. It opened at 6 and closed at 596. And I expect the stock to move sideways. So the support level is 5.34, while the resistance will be at 702. So within this range lang siya gagalaw. Very volatile yung stock. The stock is very volatile, but apparently right now, in the past few days, it has been very volatile, but this time, the stock ended in a doji. So let's take a look now of MPI. MPI ended in the red, so it's a red candlestick, or 2.84% down. Meron siyang buyback program, which in the previous days, I was reviewing the stock, and I said that it will go higher. Apparently, nagkaroon ng profit taking yesterday as well as today. But if you'll notice, the candlestick is getting shorter. Ibig sabihin nito ay baka magkaroon ng sign of reversal soon. I think the movement is just trying to fill, the movement of the stock is trying to fill the gap created here. Dito. Nagka-create lang siya. There was net foreign selling at 106.55 million. So what do I expect of the stock? With the two red candlestick, I expect the stock to move lower in the following days before consolidating. It may reach the support level before it will move or consolidate and then move higher if the volume will allow. Let's take a look at CHP. Okay, CHP. Nagkaroon ng red candlestick siya today. So from 171, it declined to 160. There was volume, only that there was selling volume. So, bigyan natin ng indicators. It's still above the EMA 20, so I expect the stock to move sideways before moving higher. The trend line here is still on an upward movement. Now, it may continue to move sideways in the coming days before the stock could move higher as the economy opens. Kasi cement ang business ito eh. So as businesses open and as projects open, then I expect the stock to move sideways, then move higher. Okay, let's take a look at SM. Okay, SM continues to move sideways, and it continues to move within this box. Some would call this a Darvas box, but whatever box you call this, it's just simply the resistance and the support. So I see the resistance at 900, at the 900 level, while the support is at 863. So nagkaroon ng doji dito the previous day, and then profit taking. Normally, if there is a doji without volume, then the following day, most likely there will be profit taking as manifested in today's trades. So there was net foreign selling of 61 million. So it ended red. So in the following days, if the volume will not hold, then it will just move within the resistance and support. So if you plan to do range trading, you enter at the resistance, enter the support, 863, and you can probably exit at 900. And then of course you'll have to compute your risk reward ratio. The acceptable ratio, if you are a position trader, is 1:2, meaning 1 is your possible loss and 2 is your possible reward. Okay, let's take a look at GTCAP, another index stock. Meron siyang breakout today. Looks like a breakout because in the past days it has been moving downwards. Looks like a breakout, but if the volume should hold, then it should move higher. But looking at the previous candlesticks, tulad dito, yung September 4, may candlestick dito with volume, tapos umakyat siya dito, and then nag-fade out, tapos bumaba. So this is a lower low, higher low, another lower low, parang nag-ano lang siya, nag-head and shoulders, reverse head and shoulders, and then it went down to a lower low, and then higher low, and then the channel here moves downwards. So I expect the stock, because if there is enough volume, this will break the resistance and finally move upwards. But as I see the stock right now, the candlestick pierced the EMA20, but historically the movement is still downward. So in the coming days, if we see green candlestick, solid green candlestick, then it will finally move upward with our indicators moving up. But right now all our indicators are pointing downwards, and our trend is also downwards. So I expect the stock to probably move sideways and then move downwards if the volume will not hold. Let's take a look at BCOR. Okay, BCOR looks like a breakout. So nag-increase siya ng 18% or 0.51, opened at 278, closed at 321, and there's a short wick here. Now there were 140 or 1,400 trades, but there was net foreign selling of 600, well, just very minimal. Now normally during a breakout, the breakout may last for a few days, tulad ng nangyari dito sa pag-akyat dito. So there was a breakout here with volume, nagpahinga, tapos nag-breakout ulit, nag-consolidate, and then it had a pullback, then another breakout here. So the breakout lasts for between 3 to 5 days. Before it will, sometimes it's just 2 days or 3 days before it pulls back. So how do I see the stock? The volume today was unusually higher than the average, and therefore I expect the stock to move upwards. But of course you will have to compute your risk reward ratio, because I see the resistance at 346. It is 321 right now. So there may be sellers, heavy sellers at 346. Of course, if you see the potential of the stock had a 52-week high of 520. So we are more than halfway there. And it is only at 321. So what you can do is you can enter on the second day, but you have to time your entry. And be sure to have your stop loss ready, because anything can happen when you invest in stocks. But most probably on a breakout, the movement of the stock is usually higher. It may have a short red candlestick, but eventually it will move higher. So this is a potential upward trend if you will get in tomorrow. You can still get in tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at ABS. ABS had a doji. I see it as a sign of reversal. So there is little volume, but this very thin body here would indicate that in the coming days, perhaps tomorrow or in the succeeding days, it may turn out to be a green candlestick or a gap up. A gap up na pwedeng red na gap up or a green candlestick. So, abangan natin. Tingnan natin kung anong lalabas. Pero, indecisive candlestick to, which would indicate a sign of reversal. Then, let's take a look at now. Okay, now has been moving sideways. But if you notice, there has been a breakout here. And nag-consolidate siya pataas, nag-breakout ulit dito. And then it continued to move sideways. So right now, I have the resistance at 522 and the support at 439. So it will just move within that range if there is no catalyst. And then let's take a look at PX. Okay, PX resulted to a red candlestick today, but there was a low of 450. It opened at 480, and there was a doji yesterday, so it ended slightly lower at 470 or 2.49% lower. So as you see, the stock follows the price of gold. Tingnan natin yung gold. So gold prices are slightly down, and if you'll notice, it is 6.11 points down or 0.32%. And if you take a look at the stock, Philex Mining is also down, and it follows the gold prices. But there was net foreign buying at 1.08 million. So I just expect the stock to move the same as the same movement as gold. And then finally we have SECB. Okay, SECB. Downwards pa rin si SECB. And there was news today that SECB was one of the banks affected by the downgrade. So it opened at 991.80 and it closed at 990.90. So there is a downward channel here, which I expect the stock to move until it reaches a support of, it will test a support of 90 or 89. Okay, the support will be 89. And once that tests the support level, hopefully it will bounce. But the next level, if it continues its downward trend, will be 87. So I suggest that you stay away from the stock until the ratings improve. That's it. Yan po ang ating report sa stock market, October 12, 2020. Bispiras ng Miyerkules. Ito po si Benji Chadoro, laging nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming po salamat at see you in the next episode.